is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Driving with Randy with me, your host, Road Rage Randy. We're getting back to the classics today. You know that? We have a coconut cream pie Larabar. Those of you that have tuned in from the beginning, you guys know my obsession with these things. They are absolutely delicious, so I highly recommend them. And then today for a drink, we've got Tivana craft iced tea, black tea beverage, 0 calories, no added sugar, lots of potassium. I don't know. It tastes good. I had it before. I'm gonna crack this sucker open and have myself a drink. I like it. Well, first and foremost, how is everybody doing today? Welcome to the podcast, Driving with Randy. I'm your host, Road Rage Randy. For those of you that have not tuned in, I welcome you and thank you for stepping into the passenger seat and being my passenger. We got a guy here. He's wearing one white shoe and one black shoe. And he's got black laces on the white shoe. I just don't understand, man. So did he have to buy 2 pairs of shoes? Or is that the trend these days and they're just selling them like that? Can you imagine going to the shoe store and just being like, I'm looking for the new cookies and cream shoes. Like, cookies and cream shoes. Oh yeah, they got the black shoe on one foot and the other shoe's a white one. And if you want it in the reverse, well, you can't have creams and cookies. You can have cookies and cream. Oh, I cracked myself up. I'm such an idiot. But that is the whole point of... that's like the prime example of what this podcast is about here. We had a guy just walking down the road, and as I'm sitting here on the podcast, we end up getting good old stories and... good old commentary. We recently just got another review onto the podcast. It was probably one of the best well-written podcast reviews I have ever read. I really enjoyed it. I think a big thing that I'm going to be doing is for episode 100, I'm going to be reviewing or reading all the reviews. So make sure you head on over, the good, the bad. Head on over to one of the platforms that you can review. You can review on, I believe, Stitcher, and you can write reviews on iTunes. I don't believe Spotify has reviews, and I also don't believe Google has reviews. I might be wrong about Google, but I haven't seen a section where I can check out reviews, or I haven't received any. Maybe I need the Google podcasting app. I don't know. But head on over to one of those platforms, drop a review if you like or dislike whatever you're hearing today. I don't even know if I got to the point of, of the podcast. The podcast is me, Road Rage Randy, driving down the road. We talk about what we encounter. We tell some stories. We have some laughs. Sometimes we'll get a big old rant if something doesn't go my way in my life. Sometimes I just need to let things out, and the podcast has been a great platform for that. So, I encourage everyone to go on out and start a podcast. I actually... A couple nights ago, I was looking for kind of a new up-and-coming podcast. I like promoting them, and I kind of want to get on the cross promotion where I can promote with someone who's fairly new to the podcasting world. And he can promote me, and we can exchange audiences. But it's kind of hard to find a podcast where the audience I'm looking for would want to come over. Obviously, some kind of a comedic up and coming podcast, but I don't know. There's just not. I don't think there's really a market for listening to people drive and talk to themselves. But I'm making it work. I really am. And I forgot to shake this tea, so all the crap's at the bottom. I give it a nice little shake. Wonder if you can hear that on the. I wonder if you can hear that on the podcast, the liquid going up and down, and now the bubbles formed. But the other day I was looking for some new up and coming podcasts. Excuse me while I drink my tea. Pinky isn't up, by the way. I'm not that kind of a fancy man. But yeah, what I did was I actually went on Twitter and I typed in a website URL that promotes podcasts, or you're able to post to it. Like this podcast, it's available on like 8 different platforms. And what I do is I post to Anchor.fm. That's my host. They create my RSS feed, and then the other channels pick up my RSS feed. But yeah, essentially, I went on, I typed in Anchor.fm on Twitter, and I gave it a go. I wanted to see who out there is producing new content, like who wants their content heard. And I thought, you know what, I'll give a couple of these podcasts a listen. And I always end up liking a couple. I actually really liked one that I found. It was good. Something I noticed while I was searching for these podcasts is there's a lot of preaching, I'd say. There's a lot of evangelism, people starting a podcast about preaching the Lord, and I respect it. I like that they're trying to get their message out and they're using a different kind of a platform. You know, they're not necessarily heading on over to Facebook and commenting on all your stuff. They're starting a podcast because then the people that want to hear their message will get their message. I came across one that I actually really like. I'm not too religious myself. I would say that I believe there's something out there. I haven't really I've never completed the Bible, I will say. I am confirmed Catholic, but I haven't ever really, I don't know, it was kind of like I was put through it as a kid, and I guess I've never really looked into it any deeper as I grew older. Some I'd like to do. I'd like to give the Bible a try. I actually have a copy of the Bible. I'd like to give the Bible a full read so that I can understand what it means to be a confirmed Catholic. I've been through the whole process, baptism and all that, what is that, the sacraments? Yeah, I've been through all that I've been through so far, I guess. I haven't been through marriage or anointing of the sick. I don't know what else there is. I believe that those are the last 2 that I have yet to experience. Anywho, the podcast, I like supporting those small podcasts. So if you happen to be a small podcast and you're checking this podcast out for the first time, I highly recommend you drop me a message, send me a tweet. You can find me on Twitter at Thoughts by Randy. You can head on over to my subreddit, but I don't really check my subreddit. But yeah, let's get to today's topic instead of just sitting here rambling on for 5 minutes while I crack open my Larabar. There it is. It's open and I can smell the coconut already. These Larabars, they really hit the spot. I also have a salad. For those of you that did not hear, I switched my diet. I've been feeling pretty well, but I cheated this weekend just because it was easier to go about. But I probably should try and stick to it. I did get my stretching in every day, so it's not a problem. Anyways, today I want to talk to you about the Minnesota Wild. Yesterday I attended a Wild game with my very sweet girlfriend. We had front row, upper deck. I really enjoyed the seats. I really did. You could see everything that needed to be seen, and it's just overall good time. No one's in front of you. We were kind of on the edge, so there wasn't too much disrupting with people coming in and out. We went down early downtown. That's kind of the trend when you go to a Wild game. It's always been kind of, you go downtown, you grab some food, you hit the game, you have a good time. Look at that train going full speed ahead. There it is. Anyways, so we went down there. We went to a restaurant. It's called Casetas. Casetas is like it sounds like it's an Italian place. And you're damn right, it is an Italian place. If you thought Casetas was an Italian place, you're spot on. What the hell is it? There was a nut in my Larabar. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be nuts in this Larabar. It's a good news, baby. We at a red light. We are at a red light, so we can check the ingredients. We got unsweetened coconut, almonds. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going crazy. There was actually an almond in my in my Larabar. Anyways, we hit Casetas. I had pizza the night before. I'm thinking, let's switch up a bit. I've never gotten Casetas noodles. Never have I gotten their pasta. I don't remember what it was. It was like mostaccioli con something. Alright, now I'm angry because I don't know what the heck I was saying, and someone just called me and interrupted me. We were talking about, it was like some mostaccioli something or other, and it was pretty good. It was very good, actually. And you get a breadstick or like garlic bread with it. And you know what I forgot? I forgot to mention, we went to Starbucks. And the problem I have with Starbucks is people just, there's like, you can get a white chocolate mocha unicorn sprinkle extra espresso shot coffee bean mixture in a King Kong style or something. I don't know. I don't know how to order from Starbucks. So I wanted some. I wanted a frappe. So I'm just like, I want a frappe. What kind of frappes you got? And then boom, got like a caramel ribbon something or other. It pretty much, it was like caramel butterscotch, I think. It was fairly good. I very much enjoyed it. Then we went to Casetas. I got the mostaccioli something or other, and some Italian name that I can't pronounce, and it's just red sauce with some like lots of cheese and noodles. It was very good. The garlic bread, very good. I got a large. And then we head on over to the Wild game, and the Minnesota Wild, let me tell you, the Minnesota Wild are I love hockey. I don't watch hockey, but I love hockey. I grew up playing hockey, and I don't know. If I'm honest with you, the game just it was a lot of fun. I had a very good time, but the game, they played so sloppy. They didn't win. I mean, we went 2 periods with 6 shots. How do you expect to win? What's that saying? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Hell yeah, someone should have fucking told the Wild that in between the first and the second period. I mean, it's exactly that. It was sloppy passing. It wasn't as physical as I remember. Like, every team used to have an enforcer. The Wild used to have Derek Boogaard. That was fun times. When we had an enforcer, someone messes with your team, you're gonna put them in their place. You bring out the enforcer, and I mean, there's George Peros. George Peros has probably the best mustache game I have ever seen. Like, George Peros mustache. What are we doing? We are stopped on the highway. What are we doing? Okay, well, Oh, we're actually in traffic. So, ladies and gentlemen, hello. We are in traffic, reporting in from. Yeah, it's like a traffic report. If you're on this road, Highway 94, there might be some traffic, and you can't really say Interstate 94 because 94 goes all the way from Minnesota to Texas. I need to no, it doesn't. No, it does not 94. It doesn't 35. Where the hell does 94 runs east to west? I'm thinking of 35. Anyways, this road's long too, so I'd be a little more specific, but we don't got time for that today. We're moving. We are moving. Anyways, the Wild. So it was a great time. They looked sloppy. It wasn't physical. There was one point where we got 3 clean, solid checks in one shift. And it's just that's the hockey I remember. The hockey I remember is go out there, hit people, finish your checks, be physical, and it wasn't like that anymore. I don't know if it's kind of a mentality shift where, CTE and other brain injuries are starting to become more vocalized, and any kind of trauma to your head you don't want. I don't know. Overall, it was a fun time. Losing 3-1, actually 4-1. They ended up sneaking in the empty netter at the last minute. It was unfortunate. And it was 1-1, and then they ended up getting 2 goals, just one after another. And like I said, they were pretty sloppy goals. It's not like it was just crisp, clean pass. It was just kind of it was at the goalie's feet, and the goalie didn't do anything. Dubnik, he just let him in. But it's kind of. It is what it is. I wish I followed hockey a little more. I do very much enjoy it, but my focus is mainly on MMA. I very much enjoy watching and following MMA, and there's just so much to follow that we got time for the hockey. I could probably download some hockey podcasts so I could keep up with it. I just know that we've won 40% of our games, and it's not going well. We started off the season pretty rough, and then we had a win streak, I believe, and then it's just back to losing. It is what it is. Minnesota sports teams. Actually, the Vikings just got kicked out of the football, whatever that's called, the on your way to the Super Bowl, the playoffs. Vikings are no longer. I don't follow football either. I know the Packers are still in it. My girls' team, the Packers. We watched a little bit of the football game yesterday, which actually we had it streamed in the basement, and my dad said that our stream was 2-3 minutes behind because a play would happen upstairs. They were watching it, and then 2 or 3 minutes later, my girlfriend was hooting and hollering about the play. It was interesting. I couldn't imagine, streaming it versus on TV. I just didn't think it would be the same, or it would be off by 2-3 minutes. Kind of funny. I wonder if the commercials differed then. I don't know. It was what I'm getting at was yesterday was a fantastic day. I just wish the Wild were a little better. I kind of have this thing where I curse teams that I go watch. I went and watched the Twins game this summer. They lost. My dad went to the Twins game. They lost. It just kind of runs in the family, I guess. I go to the Wild game. They lose. I'm going to try again this summer. We're going to try again. We're going to get some... We're going to get some more Twins tickets. We're going to head on over to the Twins game and get some. The Twins serve this it's not a beer. It's an ale. They serve this ale called Big Kona Wave. maybe it's a sparkling ale or something. Sparkling beer. I don't know. It's called Big Kona Wave though, and I love it. I like riding the wave. I don't really like beer, but I don't know, something about that. It's pretty freaking good. This guy, RT Mobile. That's her license plate. I don't know. Can I say license plates out loud? I think so. I know people like to blur license plates out when they post on the internet. I don't know the reasoning behind that, but I just said theirs out loud. I guess I didn't say where the space was. So there's always that. Anyways, we're trying to get over. That guy's on his phone, so he's not going to let us over. Yeah, I do love live sports. In this year so far, 2020, I've been to a Wild game. I want to get to a Wild game, a Twins game. I actually heard that basketball games are really cheap. I've never been to one. Like, really cheap. I'd be down for like a $20 ticket to a basketball game. It's just something to do, you know? I don't think they're real expensive. You know, this year, it's been one of my goals for a while. I want to get to a concert. Just never been to a concert. So I want to go to a concert, somebody that I really, really enjoy. I know My Chemical Romance just got back together. If they had a tour and they came to Minneapolis, it would sell out super quick, but I would buy tickets. I know they're doing like a European tour. I think they're just waiting to release that full-on U.S. American tour, and I will do. Holy crap. The RT Mobile just picked up the speed and is going like 20 over the speed limit now. But yeah, overall, Wild game, lots of fun. The atmosphere, absolutely fantastic. We're about 22 minutes into the podcast right now. So something I kind of want to touch on is I haven't had many topics. I haven't had too many topics that I can just talk about for, you know, I need like 2-3 good topics to speak about. You know, I think that's when I need to go on that random question generator and just really find something to strike my mind with ideas. I'm trying to think of some other good stories. I think I updated you guys. I just bought. Oh, we'll talk about plane tickets. I just went down and I purchased a ticket to go to Atlanta. Yeah, I talked about that because I said I was going to go down there. I was going to make sure I leave business cards in my trail and make sure the word gets out that the podcast is down there in Atlanta while I head up to Minnesota. I think that'll be a lot of fun, getting some Georgia followers while I'm on my way, just to have a good time with friends. I'm trying to think of some other good quality stories that I can tell. Just not a lot's happened. Like I said, I changed my diet. I've been on this. Oh yes, we're gonna at the end of the year. So I'm gonna keep track of all the nachos I've had, and at the end of the year, we're going to discuss. We're gonna have, or maybe midway through the year, we're gonna have a podcast with a nacho review podcast. Yeah, the nacho review podcast. I think that'll be absolutely. I think that's going to be a great time. Actually, I'm going to go very in depth about the nachos. That's good content. So I've been to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to say I've been to 5 locations thus far. Yeah, I've been to 5 locations so far that serve nachos, and I've gotten the nachos, so I'll have 5 to talk about. I want to say by the end of the year, we're going to aim for, let's see. maybe 15 locations. So I have 10 more spots. That's at least one new nacho place a month I'm gonna aim for, so that I have enough content to discuss. So how about that? When I hit 15 new locations, whenever that may be, it might be halfway through the year, it might be freaking tomorrow. What if I go on a nacho? Actually 6. I have 6 spots. But I haven't had the 6th spot in a while, so I'll have to reconsider. I've had 5 that I can write my notes right now and discuss. So we're going to have that podcast. Oh, I'm just coming up with podcast ideas. I'm almost to work. I say this is a pretty dang good, solid podcast about the Minnesota Wild. And what did I talk about in the beginning? I talked about finding new podcasts. I talked about the Wild, and I talked about Oreo shoes or some sort. The guy that was walking around with the shoes. We just had fresh snow in the parking lot over here. It looks like people were messing their alignment up and going drifting. I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. We are about to pull in here. I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. We will go ahead on over, drop a review, give me your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at Thoughts by Randy. You can hit me on Reddit, r/Driving with Randy. I thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.